what's up? We're kicking it again, and I'm very excited to be back again. But this time, I have an incredible guest. It's a little serious, and but I want you to get to know this gentleman right away. We call him, and we know him as Coach Ernest Rabotte. What's up, Coach?
What's going on? How you doing?
All right, all right. You know, you are so fascinating because I know you have the Dream Machine boxing ring, Dream Machine boxing ring. But what I really like is that this passion that you have for youth, and I want them to know a little bit about you. First of all, because our audience, they are just now getting to know you, but so many of us know you. I know you. I'm blessed to know you. But Coach, I want them to just know a little bit before how this passion came about, this idea with the youth. So just tell us a little bit. First of all, where are you from?
Well, actually, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm 56 years old. And you know, I basically left home when I was about 14, and so I had a pretty hard life as a youth growing up, and pretty much raised myself. So it was because of situation with my stepfather, you know, really being kind of jealous of me, treated me a lot different from other kids. So I think one day it just came to a point where I just had enough, and we got in a fight, and that was it. You know, and I never went home. After that, I've been on the road ever since. So it's been one of those crazy kind of experiences as a youth, that trying to survive on the streets, you know, Texas, in Houston, and then finally making it down here to California.
Wow, how did you do it?
Well, you know, I think by the grace of God.
Grace of God.
Because, you know, basically, I'm a survivor.
Yes.
And I just went out there and did what I had to do. I mean, it was a pretty rough life.
Wow, well, for somebody who's had a rough life, man, you come across so peaceful.
Yeah. Well, you know, I learned, over the years, I learned how to just, you know, humble myself. But before that, I went through so much as a youngster, you know, good and bad. So I got in a lot of trouble. I got hooked on drugs. I you know, was on the streets of Hollywood many years, and even homeless downtown LA for about 14 years. Wow. So, you know, it was a big turnaround for me in my life, and I wanted to live, so I just started seeking God for my guidance. And on May 3rd, 2003, I just kind of gave it all to God, and He kind of pulled me out of that place on the streets of downtown LA on Skid Row. So I look back at what I had been through as a youth, and what I went through as a young kid. And I wanted to know how I can give back to the community. So I started thinking about how can I serve the community.
Right.
So I started off with downtown LA, Skid Row. I started working for a company. They provided a place for me to work out and train. And so I turned it into a gym to just help people.
Wow, and what was the name of the gym?
The Dream Machine Boxing Ring.
Wow.
I came up with that name because that was my dream, you know, and I wanted to, I think everybody should have a dream that they want to fulfill. And so I just realized that I went back in time, and I thought about who can I serve in the community, and so I started reaching out to the youth. Because I know what it's like to not to be loved, I know what it's like to not to feel that, I know what it's like to not have a supportive family, just being the black sheep of the family. So I know what it's like. So and I know what it's like to go through things as a youth and be rejected and be, you know, abused and stuff like that. So I know that I just thought about what I can do to help them feel good about themselves. So my main thing is to work with youth to help them feel good about themselves. That way they would want to pursue their career, stay in school, stay off the drugs, and stuff like that. Kind of using my experience to help them.
Okay, because you talked about drugs, I want to just sort of go back one step. I just want to know, what was the day that sort of made everything change for you? That said, no more of this, and I'm going forward.
Well, you know, May 3rd of 2003 was the day that I finally surrendered my life to God and said, you know what? I mean, because I went through a lot, and all those years, my life has been like up and down like a roller coaster. You know, I had a professional boxing career. So, and not so successful with that, but that helps me to, that helped me when I came to Hollywood, because I found someone that was a boxing trainer.
Awesome.
So he started training me. And I found something that I liked.
Awesome.
And so it made me feel good. So that's why I use boxing training to help the youth, because it's a form of discipline, you know, and it just teaches you, it helps you to feel good about yourself.
That's off the chain. So now what you do is you go, you're not just in one area. You go to different parts of LA and you're working with different youth. How does it happen? How do you do it?
Well, this is what happens. I used to have a gym downtown LA called the Dream Machine Boxing, and because of the building was sold, we are now like a mobile unit. So, I mean, I never gave up my dreams. Things can happen to you, but just don't give up on your dream.
That's right.
So I never gave up on the dream of reaching out to the youth. So what I'm doing now, I'm just going out to different homes in Hollywood, group homes that work with at-risk youth. And what I'm doing is I'm providing them some exercising, boxing, fitness, exercising for about an hour, hour and a half. That's what we do.
All right, so how do people get in touch with you so that they can bring youth? You know, how does it work?
Well, right now, because our website is under construction, and so but you can actually still go to DreamMachineBoxingRing.com, or you can call me at area code 213-595-7393 and just ask me questions about it, and I can tell you how you can help us continue to fulfill the dream.
Awesome. And what we'll do is we'll put all of this information right down here so that you can make sure that you can get in touch with them. Man, tell us a little bit more about how the sessions are with the kids. Are they sometimes resistant?
Oh yeah, you know, and I realize that because when you're going through things in life as a youth, there's just so much stuff going on in your life, you know, because you don't know what these kids have went through. You know, some of them have been, been on the streets, and they've been rescued, and they've given them a place to stay so they can try to get them to, get back into, to go back to school. They've been through a lot. And, just like me as a kid, a lot of people don't know what I've been through, but I've been through a lot of abuse, a lot of, it was just hard, mental, physical, and sexual abuse. So there was a lot of that none of my family went through. So I know what these kids are going through, and I know pretty much how to kind of work with them. So a lot of them don't really want to work out at first because they don't feel good about themselves. And that's the main thing, is once we get them to participate, now we've broke the ice.
Wow.
And then they start to do workout, do the physical fitness workout. Some just want to just jump rope, some just want to, but as long as you get them to do something, now you're getting something.
And do you have maybe one of your students that sticks out that you sort of somehow got into, or you?
Well, I have a couple of students in Compton.
Yeah.
See, in my home, I have a gym in Compton, and that's for that area.
Okay.
And I'm also getting ready to start working in Kelly Park, which was just kind of a bad neighborhood at one time. So now I'm kind of reaching out to them.
That's awesome.
But I got some kids that once they got connected with me, they just like family.
Isn't that amazing?
So, I just try to teach them how to just be consistent and stay focused on positive things.
And holding on to your dream is very important.
Yeah, holding on. You know, you got to get a dream. It's like, you know, without that, we just going through life aimless, not really figuring out. You know, we haven't figured out our purpose in life. So you got to start somewhere.
Well, I like that there's a scripture that sometimes says that all things work together for the good. And with you going through the different things that you went through, it actually propelled you to have a passion for someone else to help out, so that you're reaching out to someone else. That's so amazing.
Well, you know, I was, like I say, I was on the streets of downtown Los Angeles for 14 years. I was homeless, I was a drug addict, and I just, you know, I realized that I got involved with a church, and now it's called New City Church.
New City Church.
And they really, I met Pastor Kevin.
Pastor Kevin.
Yeah, Pastor Kevin.
Yeah.
And so I was homeless at the time. So I started going to the services on the street. So and then, you know, I just started listening to what was going on, and it really made me figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Awesome. Now, I know also you're still coaching.
Yeah.
In fact, you had one of your, I guess, one of your clients to actually compete last week or so.
Last Friday we were in Costa Mesa, and I had one of my students. She's actually a helper that I have helping me with the kids. So she has a dream of getting in the ring and boxing. So she actually fought last Friday at Costa Mesa. So she came in second place, but it was just the fact that, you know, she had a dream.
Yes.
And she went after that dream.
And she's still going after it.
Yeah, still going after it.
Well, Coach, I want to bring you back because there's so much more we can cover, you know, so much about how to get involved with what you're doing with the different youth, and maybe we might even get you to bring your boxer, to bring her on board. And but one thing I have to say, Coach, is thank you for kicking it with me.
It was nice kicking it with you too.
Awesome.